say 2019 is probably your most year you start seeing a difference, like elevating, certain stuff is coming so fast?
If you want to just make beats or write songs or draw, like you don't gotta monetize that. You can just be exercising your creative brain. Once I started getting back into therapy consistently, I be ready to cry all the time, man. I used to not feel nothing, like I'm just, but now it'd be like, as soon as I start talking about it, I'd be having to not hold the tears back.
Right. March 5th, 2020, you end up on Warstar. You and your boy, y'all.
Oh yeah, that was what song? Mode. It was called Mode.
Yep. How the empire with your boy? First off, you started with your boy Zach, as known as Zach the Hero.
I was getting unemployment, and I wasn't scamming or nothing. This was all legit. But I was. It just so happened that unemployment was paying me more than Guitar Center was, because I wasn't getting enough hours.
Right. What's some advice you could give to a young black man? You know, we two black men in Los Angeles, which is tough. What advice you could get them on their journey, what they trying to do right now in life?
I was somebody who was never really into politics like that, because I was of the mind of whoever the president don't matter to me. Okay. My life's still the same. Now we all see without a shadow of a doubt that's not true. Who's in the president office matters.
It ain't easy being me, but they think so. I know my bitch want me to.
What's going on, world? You back on an episode from the Joctober podcast. I'm your host, Jock Smith. Man, keep liking, subscribing, that link button. Appreciate y'all for the content I've been giving y'all. I'm gonna keep it coming. Like I always say, we keep a special guest rolling on the Joctober episode. This is a nice little intro right here. Artist, songwriter, audio production, instructor, engineering, entrepreneur, and a teacher. Joshua Jim Jones, also known as Jimmie Bishop. Welcome to the platform, brother.
Oh, man, glad to be here, man. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Hey, my boy just gave us a real game before we even start the show. First off, I appreciate you for showing me how to get the equipment going, you know?
Yeah.
Because this is what you do, bro, so I really appreciate that. You know, he did it quick as fuck, so I'm like, man, this guy just made it look so easy. I feel like a rookie right now.
I love it, man. Yeah. I love sound. I just love good sound, so I'm always,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and dump it to it, bro. Riverside, born and raised.
I was actually born in Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, that's IE, they call
it? That's in the Bay Area.
Okay.
They might kill me, because they'd be like, it don't touch the water, it ain't the Bay. But I call out Northern California. We could say that. It's by San Jose.
Okay.
And then I moved to Riverside. I was 3 years old when I came down there.
That's smooth, bro. I actually been in Riverside because I went to Chico at first.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you said that, I'm like, okay, I've been that way in North Cal. I was there for 2 years, bro. Shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But North Cal was smooth, bro. I feel like people don't give the recognition they need to, bro. Like on the party, just the scenery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's done a lot for us, the hyphy culture, fashion, music.
Yep.
The people that know, but for sure it could be more.
It's just wrong. It's like everybody say SoCal and not enough North Cal,
Yeah.
Like on sports, you can say something about North Cal, but as far as entertainment-wise, you don't hear too much about it.
Yeah, I mean, you had E40, you had rap, the independent rap kind of. A lot of it was born out of the Bay Area culture with Too Short, E40.
Damn, Too Short from the Bay Area?
Yeah.
Damn, I did not know.
Yeah, man. Even a little bit of, fact check me if I'm wrong, but Master P, I believe, had spent some time out there.
He right about that.
When he was messing with E40's, I think, Sick With It Records.
Okay.
So a lot of that, Larry June today.
Okay.
A lot of the independent grind, at least for music, the Bay Area's kind of been leading that for a while.
Shout out to the Bay shit. They got them Golden State Warriors over there and shit.
Man, the Warriors second highest franchise in the country right now.
Bro, it's crazy how they just elevated up. I remember when fucking, what's bro name? Not Ben Gordon. What the fuck bro name? Baron Davis.
Baron Davis?
I mean, he was there. No, he was there.
Was it Baron Davis? Yeah.
Baron Davis. Yeah. You had Richard, what was Richards? I forgot his name. They had a squad.
Well, they had the little dude light the boats.
Yeah. I remember the days.
Yeah.
I would have go ahead and switched it up, bro. So you your first mixtape you dropped, in the Island Epic. How was that, bro? Where'd that come from?
Way back.
I'm going way
That
back.
was so I started officially pursuing music in college. It's 2015. I was 19 years old.
Okay.
the first year was me just figuring it out, writing a lot, going to studios, recording. I started releasing on SoundCloud 2020.
Okay.
And a little single here and there. And then the mixtape came when I graduated. That was in 2022.
Okay.
Nah, I'm tweaking.
Easy.
My time is all off.
Hey.
I started 2015. That's when I started. I was 19 years old. I graduated 2018.
Okay.
So that's when In the Epic dropped.
Damn.
And a lot of that was like YouTube beats, recording on like FL Studio and the homies, just different places wherever I could set up a mic.
Facts.
I didn't even know nothing about like mixing really, so I think I would try to record it myself, go to the studio, have them do whatever. I didn't know nothing about mastering, nothing.
Yeah, that shit.
And I'll just put it out, and it was cool just to do it and get the reps in. And it was cool.
That's what's up, bro. What up, bro, man? What's up, bro? Man, I'm gonna have to call you back, bro. I'm gonna have to call you back. Madone going on, man. This episode of Joctober podcast is brought to you by Madone. Check out Madone for the newest trend in streetwear. Madone blends in classic styles, modern ink, aesthetic vintage designs, and more. Madone is USA made at your local source in San Francisco, California. Every item is unique, including hand stitching, tags, cuts, and more. Shop at Madone with our 20% off discount code using Joctober. Visit www.madone.com. Once again, that's www.madone.com using our discount code Joctober. If it ain't Madone, you doing it wrong. It's that simple. Go get that. Cause I see you did your. I don't want to. Well, fact check me on this one. I think you did your first performance in an apartment, right? It's your boys.
First performance. You know what? It was. Dang.
Yeah. Hey.
That's crazy. I don't even know if like.
You had a nice look. You had. I think it's your boys. You like, man. And I'm like, damn, they did it at the apartment. I say, bro, he was getting grand.
You was doing some research.
Yeah.
This was at the homie's house. Shout out to Zach. It's a different Zach.
Okay.
But they had this little house where in the IE people would go there. They would do shows. He was like a visual artist, so they would be painting and making stuff in the garage.
That's hard.
So originally, the Inland Epic, I was trying to make it a label.
Okay.
So I had like artist producers. We was having meetings in his garage, like we gonna do this and this, and then that's where we did the first like show we threw.
Okay.
But I think my first time performing was actually at a place called Back to the Grind. It was this coffee shop, and I was just a little open mic, just doing stuff. I think that was my first. I'm tweaking before that. We can get into it, but actually I was in church performing.
Okay, hey,
so
that's a good crowd right there.
I did this little music workshop, which is where I learned how to count bars, how to rhyme like to the beat. And then we had a little group. It was God's units to the G unit.
Yeah, that's hot.
And we would perform all Sunday during like to the congregation. It's like 1,000 people. It's a big church.
Damn.
And so that was probably my first time performing, like rapping on a mic in front of a crowd. I was in church.
Was you comfortable that day? Because you're somewhere you go all the time.
I want to say you had the little butterflies, of course. But for me, I find it easier to do things to a mass group of people because I can't see nobody. It's just like faces.
Okay.
But the individual one-on-one or like smaller, if I felt something, it would be that.
Yeah.
But I think also at this point, I don't know if it's because of training or whatever, but I don't know. I don't really get nervous. I just be one to make sure I do a good job and I honor people's time. Then I'm like, I don't want to get up there. I
respect that. You don't want to waste nobody's time.
That part.
That's bro, at a church though, that's clean, bro.
Yeah.
And then you went from that, it's like you level it up. So, bro, since you mentioned it already, bro, how do I want to say at the Epic House, the Empire with your boy, first off, you started with your boy, Zach, as known as Zach the Hero. Let me get that right. Shout out to bro, because I see y'all going crazy.
Yeah.
I think y'all first talked about it in 2018, 2019, y'all got it going?
Yeah, so I started kind of doing music dolo.
Okay.
And it was a lot trying to like work with producers online. And I don't know, my homie Zach, he was a guitar player.
Okay.
So he was playing guitar and he was kind of in between trying to figure out what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, dog, you have these skills, like you play guitar.
Right.
A lot of people I be seeing that produce can't play nothing.
Hell no.
So if you start making beats, you probably be better than them.
Yeah.
So you should. I went to his house one day, knocked the door. It's like, hey man, I'm doing this music. You need to come make some beats.
Right.
And he's like, and I was like, yeah man, let's do it. He's like, okay. And then we just kind of, I kind of roped him in this whole thing with me, but we just kind of going from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would help record me in the beginning. And he didn't know nothing about engineering either, but he just like, I'm gonna just record you because you the rapper and I'm the producer, engineer, whatever that means. And then shout out my cameraman, Levi Holloway.
Okay.
He also was like, I'm gonna record y'all. Just like, man, we was on a little Bluetooth speaker on GarageBand, just in a hot garage in in Levi's garage. At my homie Tyler's like apartment with his grandma, with his grandma asleep.
Granny was here, y'all bump music.
You know, it was a crazy time. Like in the moment, you just like, you're not really seeing it. I seen a quote today from Nipsey. He was like, honor these times because at one point you're gonna look back on these times and wish and think they was everything. So now I look back on those times like, dang, it was so much fun running around and not worrying about nothing. But back then I'm just like, man, if only I could be able to do this myself. And
I see you mentioned that a few times, like, you know, having your team with you because you got your cameraman, you got Zach.
Yeah.
I want to ask you how important it is to have like that team, that group with you, you know?
I think it depends on if you want to do it for a career or if you just having fun with it, which not everything you do creative you have to make money from. If you want to just make beats or write songs or draw, like you don't gotta monetize that. You can just be exercising your creative brain. And there's research that says the more you exercise your creative brain, it'll help you more in business and work because your brain, the pathways open, you start figuring out solutions to other problems because you're being more creative.
Right.
But if you want to make money off it, you need a team. You like Dr. Dre said this, no classic album or big empire was built with one person. You need a team. You can't do everything by yourself.
That is true, bro. And shit, shout out to Dr. J, because he did. I seen that clip, he mentioned that. Because it's hard being an individual person trying to do everything. You know, so it's like you can't, like, ain't no such thing as a one-man army. Which is like, bro, I've been trying to do it myself. Shit kind of complicated.
You just said sports, right? Think about like basketball. It's, you can go to the NBA and by yourself. Like you can't play against 5 people. Like I don't care if I'm the best defender that ever was. I'm not finna guard LeBron, Luka, like all at the same time. Like somebody's gonna be 4 dudes gonna be open over there. Like
you gonna kill yourself.
You literally need a team, right? Yeah, same thing.
That shit tough, bro.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this though. With all this going on, would you say 2019 is probably your most year you start seeing a difference, like elevating, certain stuff was coming so fast?
Yeah, man, I don't know where you
bro,
a scientist with this, man.
You know why, bro? Because I seen your portfolio, I'm like, 2019 just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, damn. And I look, I'm like, bro, 2019 like took off and just with a whole new wave.
Yeah. What's crazy is with 2019, that was when I first got on streaming.
Yeah.
That was with The Ark, the first album me and Zach did.
Yep, that was
so yeah, you know, it was a lot because I was really trying to come with this. My biggest inspiration is Jay-Z in terms of trying to bring people together, and nobody from the IE has made it and kind of stamped it as like, I'm from the IE, this is the IE sound. Like we got Hit Boy, who's from Fontana. You got, shout out to homie Nabian, who's doing his thing. You got Curtis King. And they try to, but again, it's like the IE, there's not as many resources there. So a lot of us, we have to go to LA to make it.
Okay.
And then you kind of just it's easier to just say, oh, I'm LA, because then you get to traveling. Nobody in Japan knows where Riverside is, so you just like, LA. And it's a lot more, at least in my experience, I feel like it's a lot more love out here.
In fact.
So it's easy to just be like, I'm from LA now.
Right.
But I was really trying to like bring people together, like, you know, let's do shows together, let's make music together, let's share resources, and people was appreciating that. So we was having a lot of motion until COVID kind of shut all that down.
You had to go down.
And then, you know, just having to regroup and feel like almost start over from there.
I want to ask you, since you mentioned that, because I was going to ask you about the COVID year. Do you feel like that like switched everything for you? You had to like mentally prepare for the, different stuff?
Yeah, COVID was interesting because it stopped a lot. Like we had this festival, the Inland Epic Fest. We had just did the first one, was going crazy. And we was getting ready for the second one.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, so obviously it shut down. We all in the house. But being in the house, like I was working at Guitar Center at the time, and I never said this, but whatever. Like, you know, during that time, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, but they would send you home and you would apply for the unemployment because we not working.
Yeah, right.
So I was getting unemployment, and I wasn't like scamming or nothing. This was all like legit. But it just so happened that unemployment was paying me more than Guitar Center was because I wasn't getting enough hours.
Right.
So I was making more money, and I had all of my time. I was at the house. Zach would pull up, and we just at the crib because he was at Guitar Center with me. Okay. And we would just be at the house working. Yeah. And it's like, dog, like, is this what this feels like to just get paid to stay home and work on music? I was like, this is amazing. I'm like, spending more time with family. There's no traffic. So COVID was like, I used that time. That's the year, if my timeline is right. My timeline's not right. But that's the year that I took my engineering a step further. Okay. Because 2019, my timeline is right. It's a blur. Okay. But whenever year COVID happened or around that time, January, I was like, I'm tired of going to the studio. I'm not putting out no more music unless I mix it myself. And it sounded trash in the beginning. Okay. But you know, bad mix after bad mix after bad mix, and crying and why don't it sound like this? Eventually it would get better, better, better. And then the first song I did that year, Stop, I think it dropped by the end of January or February.
That shit go crazy too.
I was like, yeah, I can do this. And each song, the sound got better and better and better and better. And then by July of that time, I got my first studio job. Okay. Where I was like, off of what I had taught myself and YouTube and watching videos and terrible mix here. Now, like, this studio hired me to be an engineer in an actual space.
So,
yeah, man.
How was that? Like, you full-time, something you like to do too? You enjoying it?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I got some game for people out there is I kind of became a yes man, but saying yes to things. Okay. So somebody, can you do this? Yes. Even if I can't do it, because now I got to go figure out how to do it. So I remember going in the studio, all this like knobs and all this stuff, and I've never used it before. I've only used it on the computer. Yeah. And he's like, "Can you use this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can use it." All right. And like I'm like, "Dang, I got to figure this out." But I'm like, if I say no, this door closes. This opportunity, like I don't know if this opportunity is there for me. Okay. But I said yes, and I'm like, okay, I know this piece because I use the computer version. I know this piece, and I'm just on YouTube every day until my number's called. And now that I'm in there, like, practice, get better. Yeah. I would go on days that I didn't have clients, and I would just be in there all day, figuring stuff out. Okay. What does this knob do? What does this knob do? Yeah. So that by the time the clients would come, it would get easier and easier as it went along.
Damn, bro. Yeah. So you told the man, like, y'all know how to do this, and you went to go lock in and figure it out.
For sure, yeah.
Which is, that's tough, bro, especially if something new to you, too. Golly, bro, you got to pat yourself on the shoulder for that, bro, because you stood on business shoes.
Yeah.
I want to go back to I want to go jump into 2020. Speaking of the COVID year, March 5th, 2020, you end up on World Star. You and your boy, y'all.
Oh yeah, that was the what song? Mode. It was called Mode. Yep.
I want to say like how I feel like that was a big moment for you. Like you getting more recognition year by year, and COVID just happened. Can you talk about that time frame?
I'm getting older. I just had a birthday a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna just tell the whole truth. Whatever. The World Star thing, I don't remember it super vivid because it's been like 6 years or whatever.
Like you getting old, man.
But if I remember it correctly, and for any like artist coming up, producer, really lock in on this part, I'm pretty sure I paid for that in terms of like marketing and promotion. And it was a cool resume moment to say like, look, I made it on World Star. Because what a lot of people who maybe aren't in the business don't know, a lot of this stuff is paid for. Like, it's like Billboard is not just going to do an article on you for free unless there's something in it for them. Even, I know he kind of in hot water right now, but even I learned Kanye spends at least $500,000 on marketing. Every album.
I didn't even know that.
So if Kanye is one of the biggest artists ever in the history of music and he's having to pay for this and this publication, you think they're gonna post you for free who like ain't gonna be rapping a couple years?
Yeah.
But the game is like, in the beginning, I was spending a lot of money on like stuff that I thought I needed because I didn't understand the business. And again, the business is where you make the money, how you position yourself to make the money. So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking I need to look cool. I need to go book these photo shoots and look cool. I need to go buy this World Star, which I don't even know how that came across to me, but I need to buy this World Star because if people see me on World Star, then they'll mess with me and they don't care about the music because I'm hard and I just need the look and that's it. But I spent so much money and I feel like I didn't need to spend like half that bread. So with the World Star thing, it was cool in the moment. Did it do anything in terms of the grand scheme of my success and trajectory? Not at all. I could have saved that bread and put that somewhere else.
And you don't think it like brought no recognition, like people being able to, no, that's broke.
I mean, not that I could quantify. I don't know everything, but not that I could quantify. It was a cool Instagram post.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, shit. I still look. I'm like, damn, bro, on World Star. To me, it's like you on World Star, because we grew up watching that platform. Shit still.
So it was big in the moment, but even like some of my artists, you probably feel this, being on like this side of it. You kind of get jaded because you know you bought it. But even though that's like the business, because you come up and you think like, man, they just posted this person because he was hard. Or like even doing some of these radio freestyles and you realize like it's cuts and we doing multiple takes and we just having the track playing and we just mouthing the words. And me, I was a true fan of rap and music and I bought into it so hard. So some of that, like, I can sound a little jaded at times because I'm just like, dang, I thought it was something else.
Which is, ain't nothing wrong with that though. Cause like you said, you did it a while ago, Now you look back, you're like, okay, I should have did it different. What up, bro, man? What's up, bro? Man, I'm gonna have to call you back, bro. I'm gonna have to call you back, but don't going on, man. This episode of Joctober podcast is brought to you by Madone. Check out Madone for the newest trend in streetwear. Madone blends in classic styles, modern ink, aesthetic vintage designs, and more. Madone is USA made at your local source in San Francisco, California. Every item is unique, including hand stitching, tags, cuts, and more. Shop at Madone with our 20% off discount code using Joctober. Visit www.madone.com. Once again, that's www.madone.com. Using our discount code Joctober. If it ain't Madone, you doing it wrong. It's that simple. Go get that. I wanna I got another one going for you. Okay, you talked about your first time going to the NAM in 2020.
Yeah.
All right, then I want to go to this. You was invited back then. Then 2024, you took your students.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, you say it was different because you got to speak on your own panel and present.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. How was that different for you?
So yeah, that was the NAM show, National Association of Music Merchants. So for my folks who've never heard of it, because I'm starting to see people who've never heard of it, and you work in music, that's insane to me. Like, you need to go. It's, to my knowledge, the largest music conference in the world.
Okay.
It's basically a 5-day or week-long trade show where all the brands and audio get together at the Anaheim Convention Center, and they exhibit products they have for sale, new products that are coming out. You get to test stuff. You get to meet the owners of these companies, reps at these companies. And if you're in the business, like, you need to be there. A bunch of artists, producers, musicians be there. Every single brand, from microphones to cables to instruments to instruments from other parts of the world that you've never heard of. So the first year I went, I believe I had gone because I was at Riverside City College, and my audio program there, my professor, shout out Professor Maya, she had gotten passes. Like, you do a little application. I had to apply for it. I had to apply for some scholarship to be able to go, and I won. And I was able to go, and somehow I got Zach in there with me. I don't know how. I think that was like through a studio connect we had. So he got to go. And man, like, that first year was awesome. It was huge, so many people. And I'm like, because I'm a real nerd about this. So I'm like, I know this company, there's that artist, there's this person. And I'm like, I come from Riverside, I've never seen nothing like this. So I'm just taking it all in, learning, meeting people. I'm meeting my favorite engineers, some of my favorite artists. And I'm just like, dang, I can't wait to do it again. Then year 2, then COVID happened. COVID had just dropped.
Oh, hold on. So COVID happened right at that moment?
Like, I remember being at the convention and getting the notification, like, oh, this coronavirus COVID thing, like, it's getting pretty serious. And then I'm talking about, like, a month and a half later, COVID, like, shut down. So then NAM was like, there was one year I think they didn't have it. There was another year that it was only virtual, and I'm like, how you have a virtual trade show?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Then they brought it back, and I think I went another year, but I only went for like a day because I was super busy. And I think I went through my studio that I was working at. He had to connect in there. Because before, you had to be invited to go. You couldn't just go. And it was kind of like they was trying to find their footing after COVID because there was a lot less numbers, and it's a nonprofit, so they got to get funding, and it's a lot of money that goes into it. And then when I started teaching, I don't even know how, but somehow my director at the time was like, hey, we just got this thing where you and 10 of your students can go for free. And I'm like, and granted, these tickets was like $150, $250 a person. So I was like, all right, cool. So I took 10 of my students up there. This was last year. And then this year, they paid me to go and speak and present. So each time it's just like
got better,
progressing. How
was that moment you speaking? Like, it was you the man of the show. Like, it's all eyes on you. How was that day?
That was fire. That was a big thing because, like, I remember at one point, like, just hoping I can get in here and being so happy that I just was able to go. And then fast forward, now I'm getting paid to, like, speak on the future of music education in the country. And it's people from all over the world I'm meeting coming to the talk, and it's so it was crazy.
That's tough, bro. You know, you be able to speak to the community. Speaking of the youth, you got your Compton High School music program you started. How did all that come along?
So that that was another like just saying yes.
Yeah.
Because this was like 2021. So I quit Guitar Center because my engineering business started picking up.
Okay.
And I was making more money engineering than I was at Guitar Center. So then I was engineering full time for like a year. And for my like independent folks, like this is an example, whatever, everything's different for everybody. But for me, I wasn't really making money off my music, like as an artist.
Okay.
Which was probably because I didn't have a good understanding of the business. I didn't understand royalties and publishing and grants and going to get money from this brand, and I didn't know nothing about none of that.
Okay.
So engineering was like the first thing I learned where I'm like, oh, I can use the skill that I learned in music and go get money from it today. And also, I'm still working on music. So whatever I learned working on this person's song, I can take back to my music. Or the better I get at this, I can do it for myself, and I'm saving money that I'm not spending going to a studio.
Right.
So I was full-time engineering for a year, and man, I hated it, man. Like it was tough because the artistry is what I really wanted to do for my career, but I hated the business part. I was like, I just want to write songs and record and put it out, and I don't want to deal with the registering with the performing rights organization. I didn't want to do all that, but I was leaving a lot of money on the table. So then I had to go learn engineering, which was what was paying me. So I thought if I could just make money from my music, from doing music in some way, that I would be happy. But when it came like I'm engineering, I wasn't happy.
Okay.
Because I'm like, okay, some days I work with this amazing artist, but some days I'm working with somebody who can't even rap on beat. And like, I gotta do all this crazy stuff just to make you sound halfway decent. Or I gotta listen to somebody scream for 3 hours. And I'm just like,
you don't want to hear that.
I don't care if I'm working for myself, if I'm waking up when I want, if I'm making, you know, whatever, $50+ per hour. Like, it was terrible. Like, I hated it. So the deciding moment, the day I found out I don't want to be an engineer, because I ain't know. I was at this, I'm not gonna use names, but it was a very big artist that I grew up listening to, that I was at a session for this person. And I was, you know, some artists, like mainstream artists, it gets a little funny, like, which understandable, but you can't like meet them. You gotta work through this person and then they'll go relay your message over here. So I was in one, it was a big complex. I was in one studio and I was working with songwriters who were writing songs for this artist who's in the other room recording. So it was literally like multiple rooms of us, like it was like 3 or 4 rooms with everybody doing the same thing. I'm an engineer with these writers, it's other writers in there. Everybody's trying to make something to go give to this artist. And I couldn't go in there and meet the artist. I'm like, I don't care, whatever. So I'm working with the songwriter and they're trying to write the song. First idea came, whatever, second idea. By the third idea, they're struggling to come up with something that this artist likes, because they go in the shade, show it to them, they're like, oh, that's not it. So by the third time, I'm like, I'm an artist. Like, I'm hearing y'all come up with this stuff. I've been doing this for years at this point. I'm like, hey, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should use these words. And first time, there's like, yeah, thank you, but you know, no thank you. Then I'm like, okay, it's been 40 minutes and y'all still ain't got the hook. Like, maybe you should try this and do this way. Yeah, cool, okay. The third time, I was like, all right, like, I think I have a hook for this. Like, what does this sound like? And I'll never forget. It was like, respectfully, we just want you to shut up and press record.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, I got up and walked out. Just left. I was like, I don't care who this is over here. Like, you're not finna be talking to me no kind of crazy. And that was the day that I was like, I don't want to do this engineering. And they called me back the next day and they had one of the biggest artists out today. It was like, hey, we got this person coming. We need an engineer. I was like, find somebody else.
I'm good, yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Like, plus, a lot of my folks might know this too, but it's a lot of free work. So you might be working with your favorite artist, but we don't know if this song gonna come out. We don't know if this gonna get cleared. So they just expect you to do it for free because you want the look or you want the experience or you're learning. So I was like, man, it's not enough to just do this for other people. I want to do it for me, and I want to make sure I'm putting my time and energy into something like I love and believe in. So that's when I had to, go back, recalibrate, and figure it out.
That's crazy, the fact that you had to do some of that for free, like you said,
Yeah.
Like, it's like you put a lot of time, effort to that. Then it's like you said, okay, this is a big artist, but what that's really gonna do for me?
Or people that say they're gonna pay you, and then you pull up, it's on the way, and it's like 3-4 sessions in, and you still ain't got paid.
Yo, what that check?
Some of it, and this is not to sound like you're in it for the money, but it's like, we humans, like, people gotta eat, people got bills, and I'm spending time, my own time to learn this. And I'm also spending time over here with you to do this. So all that time I'm devoting to this. Some of this is money. I'm maybe buying plugins. I may be spending gas. And that's time and money I could be doing this and making some money. So I'm like, I'm investing in your dream that you're trying to write off as like it's my dream, but it's not my dream. And so, and fast forward, shout out my homie Ray, my homie Quasi, who was just speaking on this today. Producers deal with this the most. Where people want to pay the engineer because you need to sound good. People want to pay the photographer and the videographer because you need you can't film yourself in some cases. But the producer, they expect you to just send the beat. And like, oh yeah, I'll give you points on the back end when it's blow up. But what if the song don't come out? Or what if your song do like 30 streams? Or if it don't pop for like 6 months? Like, it's all in terms of like, you're not being greedy by asking to be compensated. And that's a whole like skill in itself. If you want resources on it, it's a fire book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It's a book on negotiation where you can learn how to negotiate for yourself and stuff like that. But yeah, the entertainment business is crazy.
Bro, you like the fourth person I had on here that mentioned about like the entertainment, how it was crazy. Like far as like, you might come across a lot of phony people. Then you the second person that mentioned the back end. Like, how long I had to wait on the back end,
Exactly.
I want my money now. Seriously, I'm giving you this time. Like you say, nobody finna work for free, bro. This California, it's 2025. You just got a lot of stuff you got to provide for, Yeah, it's something you love.
And it's a whole like, because we're conditioned in America, you go to work, you get paid. Like your average person trades their time for money. So if I've been doing that my whole life, and now I'm over here trying to do this career path, and you're telling me I have to trade all this time, and I don't know when I'm gonna get paid.
Crazy.
But it's like, I gotta eat today. But I got rent to pay today. And if I wanna get this paid and I'm not getting it from here, well, now I gotta go get it somewhere else. And you got some people who out there and risking their freedom for stuff, or they go get another job to where they can continue to pull up on so-and-so for free or however it makes sense for them.
It's just crazy, bro. Like the business side of it, I'm noticing how the industry is. It's crazy. It's a lot you gotta learn and stuff you gotta do. I want to go back to the time. I want to go back to your youth, bro, because as I was looking at your platform, the kids, I feel like you motivate them to go harder, bro. I appreciate what you're doing too, bro, because you're going crazy, and I feel like you said, you put on for the future and the youth. How does that make you feel? Like a lot of these kids gravitate to you, look up to what you're doing, bro?
I ain't gonna lie, ever since I've been like...
I know you shed a tear a few times, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Once I started getting back into therapy consistently, I be ready to cry all the time, man. I used to not feel nothing. Like, I'm just... But now it'd be like, as soon as I start talking about it, I'd be having to not hold the tears back all the time.
I feel.
Because what changed it all for me, because let me go back to how I got into it. So I went through this program called the 1500 Sound Academy with 1500 or Nothing, which is this large production house.
Okay.
And they had this music school that was dumb expensive, but I got a scholarship through YouTube to go for free, like online or whatever. So I'm doing it, and I've told them this, so this is not like, I love them folks over there, but I was already kind of doing it like physically for so long with releasing music, engineering, and like co-producing for so long that by the time I got into class, I'm like, I kind of know all this stuff already, and they've made changes and stuff. So I would literally like, I'm skipping class because I'm out here getting paid for it already. So I'm gonna just turn in my final because I guess I'm not learning nothing.
Yeah.
And I was kind of bummed because I'm like, man, I'm not, the school, they're having Chris Brown pull up and I'm about to say Diddy, but I was just like, all these people pulling up, and I'm like, I'm in Riverside, and I don't live in LA, so I'm not seeing none of that.
I see.
But I'm like, man, whatever. I learned a couple things, met a few people, and that's something that is good for the resume. They're one of the biggest production houses in the world.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what this will turn into, but cool. Went, did a graduation, met some more people, so I'll say that for me, the networking, I've met people that one thing led to another and did a lot for me down the line.
Okay.
But I graduated from there, and Compton Unified School District hit them up to build a music program that was similar to theirs at the high school level.
Okay.
So they sent like an email blast out, and I was like, okay, like I'll do it. Like, or I think somebody told me like, hey, you should go out for this.
Okay.
I don't even know why. They barely knew me. I don't know what interactions I had with them that gave them the like, you will be good for this. But I'm like, all right, if you say so, like, whatever. Like, I applied, they interviewed me. I'm like, I never taught before, but I know this, and this. I've been working in music this was 7 years at that point. I mean, I feel like I could do it.
Right. Yeah, no,
and then they was like, all right, well, do you want to do it? Yeah. I guess I did good. And I was like, sure. Like, worst case, if I don't like it, I'm gonna just quit.
Facts.
So this was like a downturn in music for me, so I needed some bread.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know, I actually went back and got hired at Amazon doing what's called area management, where I was working in the management side. I had like 200 employees I was managing, whatever. And I learned a lot about business from that job, from like the leadership principles and how to manage people, run a team better. And it was paying like really good, but the hours was crazy. And they were calling my phone all day. Like I'm never not on the clock.
You ain't getting no sleep.
No. And I was like, man, like I gotta get up. I can't. I remember one day I woke up and I had to be there at 5 a.m. because all the leadership, we had to come in at 5 before the day started at like 6:30. Okay. So I'm having to get up at like 3 a.m. to get, because I was also like seeing a girl out here, so I'd come from LA, and I worked in the IE, so I had to get up at 3 a.m. to. So you gotta think about it, like, I'm thinking, dog. I'm trying to go to sleep at like 8 o'clock.
You want to miss it?
Your girl ain't going for that.
She ain't going.
So I'm like, I remember one day I woke up and I was having what I believe was a panic attack. I had never had one before. But I remember my alarm went up, bro, and I could not breathe. I thought I was having a literal heart attack. Yeah. And my girl was like, are you okay? You didn't even call the ambulance? And I was just like, I can't go to work. I can't go to, and I called off. And I was like, I can't stay here. Damn. And then, that's when the school thing came. I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave Amazon and go do the school thing. Cause I was needing some bread to sustain everything I was doing with the music. And so I got in it. Show up day one, had never taught before. Okay. They told me I was gonna have all this curriculum, all this equipment. I show up day one, I'm in a trailer, with no equipment, no curriculum.
What?
And it was like, here you go. And I was like,
okay.
What you mean?
Right.
So I'm looking at these kids that like, and granted, at this time, bro, I'm 25.
Yeah.
And this is high school.
So you really like.
And I'm like, bro, I'm still learning like how to be a man, dog.
Yeah,
like, and I'm just like, well, how you doing, Mr. Jones? Nice to meet you. And each day I would have to just figure it out.
Damn.
This is something I learned at Amazon. They had this term called, with the orders, it was first in, first out in terms of like deliveries.
Okay.
But they would say FIFO. Like if you in a situation, you got to figure it out.
Damn.
I know we curse on here.
No, you good. Yeah.
So I guess I kind of took that like as a leadership philosophy. So I'm in this situation where I just got to figure it out. So each day, granted, these like class blocks are an hour and a half. So I'm having to figure out an hour and a half worth of material, like I see 4 classes a day.
How many?
Because they gave me 6 classes, and I'm having like back then, it was probably like 45 kids each class.
Hold on, bro. You got 45 students in each class.
Yeah, dog. And I'm like, each day I'm making like the day's curriculum like as I'm doing it.
How tough was that, bro?
It was crazy, dog. Like crazy. So the first year, my personal music business kind of, I was still, and then I was gone a lot because I'm traveling a lot for music and doing this. So I'm not even really there like that. And the principal like, dog, we need you here. Like, you not here. So it was the first year, it was a mess. Damn. It was a lot. But halfway through the year, we got a room, we got equipment. I, was doing it a little bit, had practice, had good energy, so the kids like was starting to come around a little bit. And started finding the groove a little bit. But I kept this a secret because I'm like, Kendrick Lamar ain't never taught. And if I'm trying to be like him, I'm thinking it's not cool to have a job and do music. So the whole time, granted, like a lot of people still don't know I worked at Amazon because I'm like hiding all this stuff, thinking I gotta make it look like I do music full time. When half these people, you would be surprised, they doing something
on the side
for sure. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it for a year. I'm not gonna tell nobody, but I'm gonna post it going into my second year because I still needed the bread. I was in a lot of debt from the just bad business.
You're young as hell, bro.
And so I needed the money, and it was pretty solid money. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna post going into my second year that this is what I've been doing this past year. But before that, I would notice some people I would talk about it to, and I would see how their faces would light up. Like, dog, that's amazing. I'm like, I gotta get up early because I gotta go teach. And they're like, what you mean? Like, that's fire. And then I remember I posted it, and I got like hella love on it. I'm like,
I should have been posted this.
I'm like, okay, well, let me post it again. Let me post it again. And I'm also like trying to be careful about, I don't know if I'm supposed to be posting kids or like I'm not trying to market myself to the kids and just trying to take it super serious. And I'm just watching like each time I post something I do, just people love it. So in business, right, like I feel like it's 3 little bubbles. You got what you want, you got what people want, and it's something in the middle. So I feel like half of business is I see people, there's a demand for this. So I'm just gonna give them the demand. I'm gonna feed the demand, give them that. So I'm like, all right. Second year, I was like leaning more into the school where I'm just posting a lot of that. And, some people kind of was like, oh, is he quitting on the music? Or is he like, the music was kind of becoming less and less important. But I'm like, I don't know, it was cool. And then fast forward, there was a meeting I had where one of the other schools in the district had this grant that we didn't get. So I'm just making it work with whatever we have. And they had an opportunity where Ed Sheeran went to their school and performed. And I'm like, okay, like, can I get that for my kids? And they're like, well, we hired you because you had all this industry experience and all these connections and you supposed to be bringing this. But I'm like, But they had this company set that up for them, and we don't have that.
Right.
So then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm competitive. And I'm like, bro, the thing that changed everything for me was that meeting where they like laughing at me and making me sound like I'm like not nothing.
Okay.
And then also at the same time, I'm having to do these household income forms for the school for like funding.
Okay.
So I'm like just handing them out to the kids, like whatever. Like, yeah, fill these out. How your parents fill these out, bring them back. And they bringing them back, and I'm like kind of accidentally like seeing some of them before I turn them in. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, what you mean you got a household of 8 and your monthly income is $2,000? Or you got a household of 6 and your monthly income is $1,800?
Crazy.
And then I'm like, wait, you don't wear that hoodie every day because that's your favorite hoodie. You wear that hoodie because that's the only hoodie you have. And oh, this kid don't smell bad because he don't know how to take care of himself. He smell bad because he don't got clean water. And this kid is always the first one here because he's homeless. And I'm just like, yeah, I like.
It got deeper for you.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I can't do this to these kids. Like, I'm not finna be the next person. Like, they come to school just down and like having hardly nothing to live for, feeling like nobody care about them. So like, if nobody cares about you, you gonna feel like somebody cares for you when you're in my classroom.
Right.
So then from there, I was like, I'm about to make this the most turned up. I started like hitting everybody I know, like, come speak to my kids. I'm like emailing folks, like, let's do a field trip.
Right.
So then all this stuff like people be seeing, that's all just me calling and emailing.
All off the strength.
Just all off the strength.
Dang.
And then like I post it, and then it starts to spread, and then now it's a thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to go to the part when you mentioned like when you had that meeting, they just laughing at you. You're like, all right. I bet they ain't laughing now though. They see you turn.
You know, it's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's something I can't say too much. It's something I can't say.
Okay.
But I went from being the laughing stock to now I'm the example for the whole district.
Yeah.
Now I'm like probably the youngest teacher in the district, and I'm literally the poster child.
You even pass accordion.
And it's
bro.
not even like, it's going beyond just my like program. It's like period. Like the entire city is like, people are trying to copy what I'm doing.
Yep.
And this ain't even like, not to sound like cocky or whatever, but just like, yeah, like I don't really care for the credit. I care about, yes, now it's more kids that are getting these experiences. Before I got there, they weren't even having field trips.
You got kids doing
and now I'm like,
and shit.
I'm like, dog, nah, like, I think if I'm entertainment, right, you can't learn everything you need to learn to be successful in this business inside of this classroom.
Okay.
We gotta go to Warner Records. We gotta go to Universal. We gotta have your favorite artist pull up on us so you can network and lock in with them. So I'm like, every week we doing something.
That's tight.
Every week we either going somewhere or somebody coming to us.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
You had them like on little field day trips like here and there, huh?
Now it's at the point where the kids like, they expect it.
Damn.
They went from like, this is never gonna happen, not having no hope for nothing, to now like, when's the next one? Who's coming this week? And I'm tired. I was like,
hold on, y'all.
I didn't even set it up yet. Like, you know what? Let me email this person.
Hey,
like,
they keep on your toes.
they
though.
be on me, yeah.
That's dope, bro. And that's hard, bro, because you really give them the sauce at a young age, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's the future. So when they get old, they're going to be like, bro, that's my teacher. He taught me that's big, bro, you know?
And it got bigger than, you talking about the sauce, it got bigger than just music. Because I'm like, okay, like, I don't know, like, I just love it. And it's, I guess, kids, like, I just want to be the best ever. So I'm like, I could teach you how to make the best beat in the world. You could sign $1 million record deal tomorrow. And there were kids, like, if 310 Baby went to school down the street, and that's what he did, like, a few years before that, or whatever. So I'm like, it don't matter how big your song gets, if your business ain't right, you're not making no bread.
Yeah.
Or you could sign and get this $2 million advance and lose it all. And it happens. So I'm like, okay, my goal is to have them, set them up for success for a long-term career, not just entertainment, whatever field they want. So I'm like, all right, if I want you successful in entertainment, but I also know some kids is just here because I'm young and I dress like them and they don't even like music, what's some I could talk about that all of these kids are gonna have to use? Because I'm not finna, because I say every day I work for them. So I'm not finna waste your time by teaching you something that once you turn 18 and graduate, you just not finna use. So I asked them, I was like, what's the one thing we all need that all of you guys would be interested in learning that's not music for my folks that don't like music? First thing they said was money. So I'm like, all right, we gotta get in our financial literacy bag. So from ground zero, what's a bank account? What's a checking account? What's a savings account? What's a money market account? What's types of accounts? What's a good bank? What's a bad bank per se? What's like banks, types of accounts? Like what type of fees should I not be paying? What should I ask for when I go to the bank? Okay, how does credit work? What's a credit score? What goes into a credit score? So now this is the stuff they learning and they going home and educating their parents, because some of their parents don't even know this stuff.
Facts.
And it's just been going from there. So
that's crazy, bro. You gotta write you a check when the time said to do it, man. Because you're really changing lives, man. That's dope, bro. I want to ask you about your song, the latest song you just dropped too, bro. Man, Dear Trump. Hey, video go crazy too, bro.
Appreciate it.
Shit clean, man. How'd that come along? You know, how was that whole project for you right there with that song?
So that song, naturally, I feel like with this election, I feel like we all got a lot more politicized. I was somebody who was never really into politics like that because I was of the mind of whoever, like the president don't matter to me. My life's still the same. Now we all see without a shadow of a doubt that's not true. Like who's in the president office matters.
Man.
So the election, but also like my girl that I'm with now, she from the East Coast, and she grew up like very close to she's from like the DMV area, so DC was right there. So she seeing lawmakers and protesting and all this stuff, right? And she not going for like, I'm not finna be with no man that's politically not in tune. So I'm learning more stuff just to have better conversations with her and engage with her on that level. But also my kids are asking me stuff, my students. So now I'm like, well, I can't be up here and give them wrong information, so I gotta really do my homework. So I'm living this in real time, learning about it, going through it with my associates, with my students, with different people, and I'm just watching just stuff get crazy. Like, regardless of who you voted for or who you support, like, it's just like, dog, like he's saying like crazy stuff in his rallies that's very inflammatory. He's incited the January 6th, like people got real life hurt and was like, I don't know the extent of that damage because I haven't researched it too, but that was a terrorist attack. Dog.
I feel like it was too.
Like if you imagine if a bunch of black folks did that, like you getting shot.
Oh, that.
Yeah, so I'm like, this guy, and then the whole like COVID thing where he telling people like, oh, you drink bleach to get rid of COVID.
Bro,
and like,
I thought that shit was fake
like,
at first.
Dog, this dude is like really like causing some problems.
He don't even see it.
And then he gets elected, and then, you know, the whole mass deportation and, you know, the tariffs and like the impact on the businesses and the rising prices. So we're all feeling it. Even people that voted for him and supported him, some of his supporters got deported. Some of his supporters got fired from their government job when he just firing everybody. So I feel like traveling throughout the country and the world and just talking with people, sitting with people, and just being more mindful and spiritual, I'm feeling like there's an energy where everybody's just feeling like uneasy and just like, I don't know about this situation. So then I go in the studio and I'm just in a space now where I'm like, I feel like I'm channeling the energy that I feel, because I'm not trying to I'm trying to speak for the people, for people who feel like they don't have a voice.
Right.
So I go in there, and I had no plans to make a political song. I actually made the beat for something else. The beat was just off a recap, off a field trip when I had the mayor pull up and with Rich Paul to my class.
Yeah, I seen that. That's your
and and then I was like, one of my kids was like, hey, that beat's kind of hard. Like, you should do something with that. I'm like, I just might. So I put it up one day, and I was just in there freestyling, and it just kind of came out, and that's what it was. And just start, writing different words, and then I tried to make it like very honest, and like I'm not trying to bash them. I'm not just really say just a feeling that I was trying to convey, and ask a lot of questions. And I was playing it for people, and they're saying like, "Man, this is some of the most potent writing you've ever done." Yeah. And I feel like I'm also in a certain pocket right now where I'm like, I think I found like what my sound is, at least for this phase, where I don't. A lot of people say when I play my music, I don't sound like nobody. Like you sound like you.
Okay.
And you might be able to point to influences here and there, but So I did the song, and knowing more about the business and how people consume music nowadays, I'm like, music is a visual medium. And I actually learned this teaching the kids. I'm like showing them the history of like music, and we looking at pop music and MTV, and how MTV comes out in the 80s and changes music from I'm just listening to it to now I have to see it. Okay. Because there's music videos. So fast forward today, we got Instagram, TikTok, like you can't just drop a song, we have to see it. So I'm like, all right, I need a visual. I get with my guy Levi and bounce ideas off it, and that's when we came up with the whole concept. Where it's just in Riverside, it's the Riverside courthouse. Okay. The suit, briefcase, all that to give that political vibe to enhance the vibe of the song. Okay. And there's movement, so I try to engage. Yeah. So when I create visuals, I try to, whether it's a cover art or whatever, I try to create stuff that's gonna make somebody stop scrolling. Because we're scrolling all day. Yeah. So what's gonna make somebody stop and watch your video, look at your song, and I think about that. So that's kind of how all that came together.
I watched this joint like 2-3 times. I'm like, that's fire. I might add it to the intro. We dropped this clip, bro. I would ask you this. You stated on the Jimmie Journal 2 isn't just a song, it's a moment, pause and reflection, and you're grateful for it, bro. I want to ask you, like, what do you really mean by that whole situation?
So, and I think a lot of us in America for sure can relate to this. I'll be so focused on where I'm not and what I don't have that I don't see like how far I've came. Like I think I posted something yesterday where I was like, an average day for you, for me, for a lot of us might be somebody's prayer right now. Like if only I could have what your normal day looks like. Right. And I'm like, dog, like I have multiple studios that I can go to anytime, that I own and operate. I can make a whole song by myself. I remember the first day I opened the laptop and trying to open Pro Tools, and I literally started crying because I'm like, this is too hard. I was sitting there in the floor at the homie's grandma's spot, and I couldn't figure out how to press record. For 2 hours. And from that to now, I can record, make the beat, mix the song, master the song, put it out all by myself, do the cover art, write the song. I can make a song from nothing to like finished in like an hour or less.
I believe.
Like I got sponsorships for different things. I'm getting paid to travel and do this and that. My music has spread and touched people and motivated people to do this and that. I'm like, like even the fact that it generates any money at all, like all my, I said this on the song, like all the money I make is music related. Like I just was looking at it all wrong. I'm not like a failure because I'm a teacher. Right. the skills I taught myself with songwriting, engineering, producing now have granted me a position where I'm making a salary guaranteed off of music. If I didn't have those skills with music, I would not be getting paid this.
Right.
And I realize how unique that is because now there's like openings that I've been trying to plug some of my other music homies with that need bread. And I'm like, dog, I gotta find somebody who knows how to write songs, who knows how to engineer, who knows how to make beats, who knows how to monetize it, how to release it, and also knows how to communicate and is good with people and can be organized. I'm like, it's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, like I really have come a long way from just being, you know, the kid like struggling to find a producer to send me a beat online and paying all this money to go to the studio and not knowing what nothing was and using and I don't even know how to speak the language to describe what I want to now I can just do everything myself.
That's tough. You ain't got to pay nobody either. Bro, you saving so much damn money with that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this, bro. What's your motivation behind all this, what you doing, bro?
I feel like really it's the kids are like a big thing that drives me now. Like even watching, cause I like, man, these kids, some of my kids ain't got no parents. They support them, they live in the crib by themselves. I met a kid who literally both his parents died and they left the car and the keys and he just like, he took the car and had to go get 2-3 jobs to cover the bills. And he stayed in the house by himself. And he's like 14 years old.
14?
Going in high school. And like, so when it's stuff like that, it's like, man, like I got kids that don't like Christmas break and don't like summer. And kids who come to school super early and stay there till it's dark because they have nowhere else to go. Or maybe it's not safe for them at home. So with that, I'm like, somebody has to. Like if not me, then who?
Yeah.
So the more I'm like doing for them and I'm watching, you know, their eyes light up and creating opportunities for them. I got kids in music programs in college. I got kids making money off music. I got kids making money and investing and got all kind of accounts in high school. And that's like the biggest driver for like everything I do. I would tell myself every day, and in the beginning, I think it was something that was more of like a just marketing and words, but I had this slogan. I was like, everything I do, I want to inspire people to pursue what they're passionate about and keep them motivated along that journey. And I think in the beginning, it just sounded good. But after saying it in a bunch of interviews and telling people and at concerts, your words have power. And now I feel like those words took shape, and that's exactly what's going on. So now I'm like, well, now I can't not do this. So yeah, every day, like these kids, even these adults that are lost and need guidance, or people who are trying to figure out how to monetize their creativity or take this music dream and make it a reality, and just really anybody. I just try to help, the world, because my thing is like, if I could help one person, that one person might go then and help someone else. And then it's like a chain reaction at how much better could the world be, because I'm only able to do what I'm doing because when I was in the 11th grade, some guy at church decided to have I don't know if I said this already, but decided to have a songwriting workshop.
No, you ain't talking about that.
And it's free workshop in the church. And granted, like I've had this music dream in me since I was 3 years old. I wanted to do this. And heard the first song I heard, I'm just like, I'm in love. This is the best experience I've ever had in my life, just listening to this song.
Yeah.
But I come from a super Christian family. So I'm watching BET 106 in Park and MTV Jams and Sucker Free Sundays, like just amazed, like wanting to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I'm on TV with half-naked girls and cursing, like my mom and family go disown me.
They go, boy.
So I just had this desire and I had nowhere to express it.
Okay.
But one day, some dude decided to just have a little workshop in church on like, I'm gonna teach kids how to count bars and how to rhyme to the snare, rhyme to the beat. We're gonna make a little CD and you're gonna do a little performance on Sunday.
Okay.
And I took that and ran with it. Like that was all I needed.
Yeah.
I took it, I'm now writing every day. I'm freestyling with my cousin every time I go visit.
Okay.
And I just, once he like presented it to me, I grabbed it and I never let go of it.
That's tough.
And I just, now I'm here.
That's tough, bro. It's like you had like a little journey, you know, each time you just elevate, you know. I want to ask you this though, bro. Through all like the trials and tribulations you've been through in life, is it something you can take back and why?
Money for sure. I wouldn't have spent a lot of money on stupid stuff. I think the one thing I wish I could take back was some of the worst financial advice I ever got was to never pay for anything in cash.
Okay.
And the person who told me that he's super rich, like he's a multi-millionaire. The homie said, never put nothing on a debit card to pay for anything in cash. So then I'm like, all right, I gotta put everything on a credit card.
Okay.
Then one of my other family members was like, you should have more than one credit card.
Okay.
But you should apply for a bunch of cards so they hit your credit score all at the same time and fall off at the same time. So I applied for all these cards, got all this credit, and for a while it was cool because I was making money and I was making money, paying it off.
Yeah.
But then like I'm having all this money and access to money that I'm not knowing how to manage it. So now I'm like, well, taking the homies to the store and like get what you want, it's on me. And I'm taking girls on vacation and one girl I was seeing, I was paying all her bills and paying her rent and all this stuff. Yeah. And all that stuff over year after year started to add up. Right. And I look up years later and I'm like tens of thousands of dollars in debt.
Dang.
And then I'm like, now I'm spending like thousands of dollars just on minimum payments every month. So I'm like, dang, I'm making good money, but it's like disappearing.
The minimum payments.
And I'll never forget, like, I was for my homie's birthday one day, and he was, at the club, turned up, get a drunk, lit speech, whatever. And he was talking about how he finally started making six figures. And I was like, dog, that's so much money you lit. And he was like, it's not enough. It's like this, he going like crazy. I was like, man, he's crazy. And then I remember I started like getting up there and I'm seeing like it's not enough, especially with my debt.
Okay.
So maybe if I didn't have all the debt I had, it would be enough.
So before I let you get up out of here, bro, what's some advice you could give to a young black man? We two black men in Los Angeles, which is tough. What advice you could get them like on their journey, what they trying to do right now in life?
I'll say if you're young, just try as much different things as you can. Because coming up, some people off the strength of, I'll say it's a lot with the parents. You might get exposed to I feel like we all got a thing or some got a couple things, but we all got something we gifted with that's in us that you know when you find it, when it hits you. For me, it was music. Some people might get exposed to that real young because their parents exposed them to a lot. Some people might never get exposed to it. So then they just confused for a long time. Some people might older, whatever. So try as many different things as you can until you find that thing. And when you find that thing or couple things, do it over and over and over and master that thing. Sometimes, like with music, some of my kids didn't think you could make music a career. Mm-hmm. And it's like, nah, like you can't get into this for money because the money will come.
Yeah.
But you have to master it first. Right. Like LeBron was hooping for free for a long time before he's the multi-billionaire LeBron.
Yeah.
So I say try a bunch of stuff, master it, and do something you love. My girls say this, love is a secret ingredient. That sounds like bogus, but if you love something, it don't feel like work. When I pull up to the school, it don't feel like work at all. I be so happy up there.
That's tough.
And what happens is when you love something, you'll put in the extra hours and effort needed to master it. If you hate something, you dragging your feet, well, you finna drag your feet, you finna half do the work. But if you love something, you studying it. You working past the hours, you working before, after. So try a bunch of stuff, devote over and over again, and love what you're doing.
You can't say it no better than that.
Start young. Don't wait, feel like, I'm gonna wait till I'm 18, I'm gonna wait till I'm 25, I'm gonna wait till I'm 40. Start young. Start now. They say one of my favorite quotes, the best time you could do something about it is right now. You can't go back to, man, I'm 28, man, I'm 35, and I should have did this. The earliest you could do something about it is right now. So do something.
I'm gonna put that as a caption or something.
Yeah, man.
Just do it right now. For the people that's watching, bro, the people that may not know you, what can they find you on, like all platforms, social media handles and all that?
So I say like Instagram is my main one that I'm on. That's at Jimmie Bishop 951. Jimmie with an IE, Bishop 951. YouTube, same thing, Jimmie Bishop. Streaming, Spotify, Tidal, Apple, Jimmie Bishop, all my music. But I'll be on Instagram, YouTube, but and then streaming, of course, yeah.
I'm going crazy.
Yeah, man. Oh, and shout out my program called Life in Stereo.
For sure, shout out to that.
Which you'll see that tagged if you go to my Instagram. It's in my bio, but that's where I do all my like education stuff, all that with the kids, yeah.
Most definitely. That shit going crazy, bro.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you coming to the platform too, kid.
Of course, man. This is fire.
No, look, we running this back again too,
I'm
man.
with it. I'm down. We can run it back.
I'm about to break bro a co-host. We can just get content, because bro, you got a lot of knowledge, bro, and I appreciate you coming on the platform sharing that with me, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Look.
I'm whatever.
Man, Brody, we locked in, kid.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Definitely.
Look, we gonna catch y'all next week. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
See y'all. Peace.
It ain't easy being me, but they think so. I know my bitch want me.